Today, everyone, we're talking about Helldivers 2, the latest game to hit the world by storm, and it is absolutely killing it, hitting over 400,000, I think, concurrent players on Steam. Quite literally suffering from success right now as people are waiting in queue trying to get into the game, but since it's sold so much, they just straight up do not have the server capacity. So today in Helldivers 2, we're going to talk about the game, see if you might be interested, and go over the first little bit in the game. If you don't know what Helldivers 2 is, it is a Starship Troopers-like Halo-looking first-person, third-person shooter, depending on what sort of weapon you're using, but it is a survival and extraction type looter shooter. You run onto a planet to spread some seasoned democracy, and you go about your day, either fighting the Terminids, which are essentially just big bugs. If you've watched Starship Troopers, they are just big bugs, right? That is quite literally what they are. Or you can fight the Automatons, which are essentially robots, right? They're all just a faction of robots. It's like you're fighting a bunch of weak-ass Terminators, but there's just so many of them, and they have guns, and that makes them a lot stronger than some of the bugs. So that's the general gameplay. You have orbitals called stratagems, where you can call in supplies, call in turrets, call in weapons, call in orbital strikes. So there's a lot you can do there. And then you have generally a primary weapon, a secondary weapon, and a third heavy weapon if you spawn a heavy weapon. You don't get a heavy weapon by default, you have to spawn one in with your stratagem. That is the general gameplay. It'll all be shown off in the background, of course, just so you can get a general understanding of what's actually going on. It's a very casual game, and since it just came out, it's a fun game, but it's suffering from success, right? So that means matchmaking, while I was starting the game off, wasn't working, so I had to just eventually get in groups on stream and play with people that way. I've played in total maybe almost like 8 or 10 hours almost, so we're getting a good way into it and unlocking more loot slowly throughout the game. The idea is, at least even if you don't make it to extraction, the game is good in the fact that you'll still get some resources, some experience, and some loot. You just, you'll get way more if you survive. You'll take back samples if you survive, and if you don't survive, you don't take back samples. The difficulty of the game goes up 1 to 9, and I've only gotten up to, I think, 5 so far. I usually am currently casually playing on difficulty 4, which I think is like medium or hard or something. Or maybe 5 turns into hard, or maybe it goes into challenging. I have no idea. The naming conventions of the difficulties, are a little weird, but the difficulties are 1 through 9. Very quickly, you can go on to difficulty 2 and 3, and then it probably slows down when you're around 4 or 5, right? I could probably do 5, but we're getting into the issue where we're just dying too much, killing each other or orbitaling each other. So game is definitely a struggle. The unlocks for the game are pretty simple. You just unlock stuff through getting a higher level, which means you can then actually use it. And then you buy it with your credits, resources, and samples that you earn farming the regular missions. So it's a simple game mode in that regard. There's a lot of different types of general missions. There's extractions where you got to rescue some survivors. There's just general kill missions. And then there's destruction missions type of thing, sabotage, where you just destroy bases. There's probably some I'm missing, but yeah, there are technically multiple little gameplay styles, okay, mission types. So it's pretty fun overall in that regard. But this is what I've done so far. Starting the game, I was messing around and I did the tutorial. The tutorial takes like 5-10 minutes. You can die during it. It doesn't really matter. It's just a quick tutorial showing you how to play the game. Oh yeah, there's capture the flag stuff. So it quickly shows you how to do that. It doesn't take too long, 5-10 minutes, right? Shows you how to shoot weapons, use grenades, use stratagems, close up bug holes, stuff like that. Kill bugs, right? Shows you how to do a little bit of all. And then after the tutorial, you can then choose what mission you can go to. You can go to the Automatons, which is so far in the left section of the navigation, or you can go fight the Terminids, which are on the right section of the navigation. I messed up. Automatons are probably a better idea to fight if you're in a group, but if you're doing solo, I wouldn't recommend it. I accidentally chose for my very first mission to fight the automatons, and it was an extraction automaton rescue. So I had to rescue people from a little outpost against all the automatons alone. And it was my very first mission. I didn't know what I was doing, and I got absolutely wrecked for a while. Oh my god. The automatons would just run up on me. I'd try to heal, but they'd just kill me so fast. And then they would shoot me. They're melee ones. They run up on you incredibly fast. And they have a lot of ranged ones that'll shoot at you. So no matter what, you're not really safe. I would say automatons are harder than the Terminids overall, but it might swap around. That's what people are saying at a higher level. So like level difficulty 7 and up, Terminids are harder. But until then, automatons are harder, like 7 or 6 below. Either way, automatons are kicking my butt when I'm solo, and I wouldn't recommend doing solo automatons if you're just starting out. So I tried to evacuate some facility members. I think I got nearly 20 or 20, yeah, 20 I think evacuated almost, but I needed like straight up 30. So there was zero chance I was getting that. I might not even gotten to 20. So yeah, I didn't get any objectives. I essentially did nothing, and I gained nothing out of that. So would not recommend running solo extractions as your first thing, especially against automatons. There's my just advice against everyone to not have a terrible time. Start a Terminid mission, and then you might have a better time. So after that, I was like, oh god, what is wrong with me? I'll go run a Terminid mission. And you know what? Guess what, everyone? That mission went swimmingly. I got to adventure around. I got to shoot some weapons. I got to pick up heavy weapons, found I think like a flamethrower, lit a bunch of Terminids on fire, and that went swimmingly. It was a great time. Everybody had fun. And you know what? It went well. I survived. I got back to the mission. It was fairly simple overall, though. I think it was just like quickly go do this one task and then go extract. Extracting in this game for a lot of missions will take you a couple minutes. You go get to the extraction point, hit the extractor, and then it takes 2 minutes for the ship to come down. So you do need to make sure that you can actually survive for a couple of minutes. If you're not there when the ship tries to land, I think it runs away because it's like, hey, where'd you go? No one was there. We're out. So you do have to stay by the ship spawn point and defend. That's where it'll be more useful once you unlock some AoE turrets and things like that. Auto defense turrets are really handy in that regard. They just kill a lot of enemies, okay? It's lovely. So you just extract and then wait around. So that's essentially what you do the entire game, right? You run around, you kill enemies, you do objectives, you blow stuff up, and then you go and extract to your mission. You save some people, you know, you kill more enemies, and then call it a day. It's a fun game so far. I'm going to continue streaming it casually over on YouTube here and there and Twitch here and there, as well as, of course, play Warframe. There's a dev stream coming this Friday, so we got to make sure to check out the dev stream this Friday. Like, what are we doing if we're not watching the dev stream? Get to figure out what the new Warframe is, but Helldivers 2, they're doing well. They are getting more server capacity, right? Hiring more people, and it looks like they have more plans for stuff in the game, so it's really nice like that. There's zero pressure after you buy the game, really, to buy any microtransactions in the game. You can very easily unlock a ton of weapons, turrets, unlocks, explosives, and you can even, through the battle pass, unlock the premium currency a little bit. So, hey, not bad overall. I don't think any microtransactions are necessary, but hey, you do you, whales. You do you. I'm not going to spend any more money on this game. It was like $40 or so on Steam, and, you know, it's like a AA game, not a AAA, but it's doing really well, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a good time to play with chat once I actually started playing on stream and got together with everyone. So all in all, I would recommend the game right now. Let me know if you're playing it, if you're not playing it, and if you've gotten a chance to take a look at it outside of just seeing this video or anything. It is fun though, so hey, I'm going to continue on, but you do you. Thank you all for watching. I will see you another time. Just a small little Helldivers video for you all. So, cheers.